Hey everybody, in this short video we're going to talk about editing in the grid view when you're in a document library or a list. In this example we'll use a list that we're looking at right here. Normally by default the screen's going to show up in the non-grid mode here, and if you were to want to make updates to the content in one or more of the columns for an item in the list, you normally select it, come up to the pane, the details pane, and you'll find the properties where you can make changes to the values, right? Just like this. Not bad. Sometimes if you've got this exact same change to make, you can go ahead and select multiple items and then go ahead and put your updates in there, but they'll apply to everything you have selected. So that brings us to, let's close this up a little bit. That brings us to the grid view. So it's going to perform a little bit more like an Excel spreadsheet. So we're going to put this short list into grid view. You're going to get the same rows, same columns, but you'll be able to go directly into the field itself to make an update. See how I click on there? For dates, these are actual date columns, so they'll reinforce a formatting of date. So if I click on one of these, I can also double click and it will bring a calendar up so I can make my updates to it. Pretty straightforward. And I'll mention this toward the end too, but in order to save what you've done, you want to exit the grid view. That's what's going to save it for you. But I'll remind you of that again before the end of the video. So again, being able to go into the individual items is handy. I can also go in, as you can see here, and highlight. I'm just using the shift key and the down arrow to highlight multiple items. And if I wanted to delete those, I could just hit the delete key and it would let me go ahead and delete them. So just think of it as behaving a bit more like a spreadsheet. And I can still click on the titles to get the form up. And then the last thing we'll get into here is, we'll go ahead and do a full select and then clear it, is being able to duplicate information. So let's just say, in this example of working in the grid view, I want to put a finish date of 3/29 on the rest of my items in here. Instead of typing it one by one, like I can do in the spreadsheet, I can select a cell and drag down right here at the bottom, that little circle right there, and just duplicate what I have there. So what they're trying to provide for us in this grid view is a little bit more of a time saver when you're dealing with kind of bulk categories or bulk groupings of information that's in your list. And the same thing would apply here. If I will have the same thing on this item that I wanted on the one below it, I just drag it, pops it in there. And we're about close to the end of the video, so let's go back to the far left here. And I want to save the work I did while I was in grid view by clicking exit grid view. If it finds anything wrong with the content that's not passing some sort of a validation, it'll stop you. But when we do this exit grid view, it should just take us back to that main view that we were in before. And that's it. Let's go back home. And again, what we were talking about was, in this example, we were working with a list, putting it into grid view so we could do more drag and drop types of things to speed things up when we're maintaining the list. We should be able to do the same thing in the document library, but you might end up using more of a selecting more than one row and then using the regular edit button for that. If you wanted to apply, let's say, a tag to 25 documents to indicate that they're all project documents, that'd be a fast way to do it if you're in the document library. Whereas the list gives you that grid view. That's it. Thanks a lot.